Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. Somebody say anything. Welcome to Social Media That Converts. First off, I'll say rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. I don't know if you saw the news.
I just
No? The first realtor that does a listing video dressed like Hulk Hogan, ripping their shirt off. Maybe this is for the guys only. There's a prize for you. I think you chose the right session to be in. Who wants to talk about tax tips or accounting? Right? This is more fun. This is something that everyone can improve on when we talk about social media. So I have a few things that we're going to talk about, but I want this to be almost like an open discussion format because I'm sure you have a lot of questions, or you may have questions as we go through some of this information. Whether it's related specifically to what we're going to talk about, which is mostly content driven, but if you have questions related to running ad campaigns or artificial intelligence, feel free to ask those questions and I'll answer them the best that I can. I'll introduce myself since Matt didn't want to do that. Thanks, Matt. My name is Patrick Larose. I own a company called Boost Me Marketing. I focus on helping small, medium businesses and entrepreneurs with digital and social media marketing, mostly or specifically social media marketing in many different industries. I can tell you that the foundation of it is the same. It doesn't matter whether you're selling houses or you have a retail store or you're offering, if you run a nail salon, the foundation of it is the same. It's the content and the involvement and engagement you get that will shift depending on your audience that you have and the audience that you're trying to attract. Okay. So first thing I want to ask, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever used one of these phrases or terms in any of your social media posts that you've done. Hot new listing. Okay, and when you keep your hand up, okay? Sold, but I have more. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up if you have it up. Keep it up. Thinking of buying or selling, call me today. Posted that you offer free home evaluations. Be honest. And if you've ever done a listing video, and I'm sure some of you probably did this yesterday, and started it sounded like this. Hi, I'm Patrick Larose with Nest Seekers Realty. I'm out front of my property at 1905 Montreal Road. Head on in and check it out and walk out of frame. Raise your hand. And keep your hands up if you've ever done these. And look around. And the reason that I say this is because specifically local realtors anyways, I follow a lot of you on social media, or I see a lot of what you're doing. And to no fault of your own, I'll give you that credit. You're all doing similar things for the most part. And when you look at it, does anyone know what this number represents? That's how many realtors there are in Cornwall and SDG. Right? Does anyone know the closest business or service that has that many representatives or people offering a service or type of business in Cornwall and SDG? The closest one.
Baby stores.
Close? I thought you were going to say weed stores. You might be right on there, but no. Nobody? No guesses? The closest, and it's still pretty far off, is hairdressers and estheticians. So the competition that you have within each other and the service that you offer or provide is pretty enormous. So sticking out and standing out is something that you're going to need to focus on, right? If you're looking to attract buyers or sellers, whatever messaging you have out there, how are you different from the next person, right? What makes you stand out from your competition? Before I get into that, this is a common discussion I have with every single one of my clients, whether they become a client or not, whether it's a prospect or just in an ongoing discussion, is how does the algorithm actually work? Whether you're posting on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, it doesn't matter. Most people think, well, if I have 1,200 followers and I put up a social media post, all 1,200 followers are going to see that. That is incorrect. The way the algorithms work is they will deliver your post to less than 2% of your followers. The more they engage with your content, the more it delivers into more of your followers' news feeds. This is why content is king. You've probably heard that reference before. But making sure that you're posting good, valuable, organic, authentic content is going to make a difference. Because what's going to happen is I'm sure most of you, I might be jumping ahead here, your brokerages offer auto posting services like BombBomb or Back At You Media. Some of you, maybe all of you, are already subscribed to it. I tell you what this is like when I see it. It's the same content. I scroll down and I see 15 different, realtors, and it's the same content. It's just auto-fed. It's just auto-generated for the brokerage. It is great for the brokerage, for branding, but it's not great for you. And I challenge you to go and scroll through your newsfeed and look at how often people engage with that type of content. It's going to be very, very low, if not the lowest that you post. Anyone recognize these videos? Yeah, some of you? I'm going to come back to this towards the end, but at a time where attention span is so low, the social space, most people spend their time there, the chances you have to reach and connect with people can be very slim. So the immediate impact you make is really important. And that's what you'll see when we talk a little more about these two videos. Especially when we talk about artificial intelligence, it's filling news feeds right now. People are using it to create images. One of the biggest bone of contentions I have, and it's not with realtors, it's with restaurants, using AI to create food images. Just take a photo of your food coming out. You have a restaurant. Why are you doing that? So organic, authentic content will always, always, always win. And I guarantee you, if you go back and you look, whether you go on Instagram Reels or you go on TikTok, the stuff that you're interested in is things that have a great hook. They pull you in and engages with you because you're interested in it and you watch more of it. And then the algorithm says, oh, this person really likes this content. Let's deliver more of it. Okay, we're going to come back to this. Another common thing that I say to people is save with purpose, not with habit. And again, I go back to the BombBomb, the Back At You, generic content that's posted in news feeds. You need to make sure that you're giving value, right? So what I mean by save with purpose, not with habit is some people feel like they have to post X amount of times a day in order to get engagement or to increase their reach. And that's, if you want to fill your page with nonsense content, if you want to reduce the amount of engagement that you have from your followers, that's how you do it. By just putting it up because you feel like you have to put up content. So taking the time to put an effort into it, give value, and then ask for business. So again, there's 212 of you in Cornwall and SDNG. And a lot of you do similar things. While the person in front of the camera or the person in the image is different, the listings are different, and that draws a different type of attention, right? Whether you're trying to attract buyers, sellers, or just posting generic information about real estate, about the services you offer, about what you can do for buyers and sellers, what value are you giving? You need to ask yourselves this question: am I giving value in this post, or am I just posting because I want to say something, right? So, and I'll give you an example of this. Some of you are probably guilty of this. Taking a photo of yourself on a boat or on vacation with your laptop saying like hustling hard while I'm on vacation.
Never.
Is that giving value to potential buyers and sellers? You know, you're showing that you're busy, and maybe you are, but why? Do people engage with that? Maybe your family, your friends, maybe some of your close followers. But really pay attention. And I'm talking about your business page here, okay? Not your personal account. If you want to post on your personal account, do it. But I'm talking about on your business page, because you all have a bucket of clients that are close family, close friends. Maybe you have an ongoing client list that constantly come back to you every 3 to 5 years, right? But what about the people that have never hired a realtor, or maybe had a bad experience with their last realtor and are now in the market to hire somebody else? What's prompting them to make certain decisions, right? Are they looking for somebody who's really great, or showcases that they're really great at what they're doing and posts that they win all kinds of awards and that they sell all kinds of listings? Or are they looking at somebody that they can relate to? Right? So maybe somebody posts, maybe they have a family with kids and they reference their kids, or they showcase their family, they showcase the outings that they're attending in Cornwall and events and profiling their community at the same time. And this is, I don't know the answer to that. This is something for you to sit with. And I'm a very analytical person, so I always like to ask these questions. When leads coming in, when new leads are coming in, new customers coming in, how did they come to you? And what was their main reason for reaching out to you? Right, so just something for you to sit with and think about. This is another thing that is really important, especially when we talk about attention spans, is you want to remove as much friction as possible. And what I mean by that is when you post a listing and you have a beautiful listing, and I've seen this, and the photos are beautiful and there's maybe 6 photos, but I want to see more, and now I click in your post to try and find the link. There's no link. There's an MLS number, but now I have to go to Realtor.ca or whatever website, and I have to put in the MLS listing, and you may not think that that's a lot of time, but you have a few seconds to grab people. So every single time you're posting anything to do with your listing, put a link in there to your listing directly, and for your value, whether you're with RE/MAX, Century 21, doesn't matter, link it directly to your profile on your brokerage page, or if you have your own website, directly link it to your own website, right? Because you might send it to somewhere else. You might send it to Realtor.ca, and then people are going to funnel, they're going to look at houses, and then they're calling somebody else, right? Always pull the value to yourself, right? But make sure you put the listing links in the listing link in your post. It's one thing that all of you can do right now. Make sure that if somebody wants to see more details, you're slapping that right in the post saying, click the link here for more information, and it lands right on that listing page. Anyone know what this is?
Attention?
Sorry?
Like the attention rate?
Yeah, you're pretty right. Pretty accurate. This is, how many of you, show of hands, actually look at your social media insights and analytics to see how you're, 1, 2, couple of you? This is, when you post a video on Facebook, it's going to tell you how many views your video had. And people get really excited, oh, my video has 30,000 views. Those are 3-second views. If I'm scrolling through the news feed and your video comes and it goes, they're counting that as 1 view, right? Even though I didn't watch any of it. This is what the average watch time will look like. I guarantee you, all of you, after this, you go on Facebook and you look at some of your videos and you look at the insights, this is what it's going to look like. This drop is the 3-second mark, right? And then that's it, right? So why do we think this might be happening? Does anybody have an idea of why that's probably happening?
You don't capture their interest, and there's so much other stuff to look at.
No interest.
Too many real estate agents on Facebook.
Sorry?
Too many agents on Facebook.
Yeah. If you want the attention from your audience or any audience on social media, you need a good hook, right? So if you're doing a listing video, and you should absolutely do listing videos, they're great, especially when it's beautiful listings. The one value you have out of many different businesses and industries is that everyone loves to see inside somebody else's house. Whether they're in the market or not, I want to look at the photos, I'm going to watch the video, I'm guilty of it, I do it all the time. But if you see a beautiful house that you're attracted to, you're going to look at it whether you're in the market or not. So this, you have a few seconds at the beginning of your video to hook them, right? So rather, and this is my suggestion to you all, rather than doing your introduction and giving them the address and telling them to head on in and check it out, what is one thing in that listing that you like the most? Is it an in-ground pool? Is it a wood-burning fireplace? Start the video there. Start it right in front of that one element of the house that you enjoy the most, and then give a hook where you're like, even if there's something really cool and unique about the house that sticks out like a sore thumb, start with that. You're going to pull people in. If there's like a really creepy crawl space, you know, in my new listing, you're never going to believe what's in this crawl space. And then it cuts, and then now it pans into the front video. So you got them, and then halfway through the video, you're showing them the crawl space, right? So think of fun, creative hooks that you can use at the beginning of your videos, and even throughout, just to keep people engaged and keep them interested. Because even though I may not be interested in your listing, if it's a fun video, or if there's catchy hooks and it's a beautiful listing, I'm probably going to share it, right? I'm going to like it, or I'm going to comment on it, and the more engagement you get on that, the more it delivers in people's news feeds, right? And if you're having a hard time coming up with hooks, Does anyone know what you can use to help you come up with hooks?
AI.
AI. I don't know if you use ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta, Grok, whatever you're using, take your listing description or even talk to it. Hey, I'm outside of my new listing. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but there's a really new feature in it, and this is what it is, and I want to come up with a good hook at the beginning of my video. Can you give me some ideas? It's not going to give you a bunch of ideas, right? So a good hook at the beginning of your video will keep people engaged, right? And I'll tell you this too, not that you want to be in the entire video, but if you're at the beginning and it cuts and now it's just pans through the listing and you don't show up again, you're going to lose attention. So don't be shy to come in to the video here and there giving an explanation. I'm sure all of you have probably watched $1 Million Listings. I'm sure you've seen the way that they're talking about multi-billion-dollar listings, so I get it, but they're giving you a tour of the listing. They're not sending you on a video parade of the listing and the rooms and whatnot, right? They're actually giving you a tour. And the other thing I'll tell you, when it comes to doing videos, if you're showing a 3-bedroom bungalow with an in-ground pool, is your target audience a family? Then talk to that family about it. Create that emotion of what it would be like to live in that house, not just see it, right? People you want to create emotion, and you can do that. I know some of your listings, you might not be able to do that, but ask yourself those questions, right? Who is the ideal customer for this property? And then you don't have to target your video to that audience, but you can discuss it in there, right? You can create that emotion of what it would be like to live in there, decorating for Christmas and watching Christmas movies or having summer barbecue parties out by the pool or whatever. So I challenge you, all of you go and look, because you're going to see this exact, I guarantee it, unless you're boosting them and you're running ad campaigns to promote your videos. That's your organic. Watch that. Okay, so back to this. So if you haven't seen these, I might be able to play them. I'll test that after, but this girl has gone viral recently because she uses like fun, catchy puns and jokes. I think the way she starts this is something about this has more bush than my mom had in the 80s or something, like, right? So she's really raw, but she's going viral right now. Is there longevity in that? I don't know, right? It's going to be a challenge for her to constantly come up with these jokes and puns in each of her listings, but she's generating all kinds of attention right now. If you go to her page, her listings, she has pretty high-end listings. This young guy runs through his listings. I don't know. I don't know if any of you want to do that, and I'm not saying replicate this, but I'm saying they found a unique way that showcases their personality and showcases their listings. And that's my challenge for you. Being your authentic self, being organic, being humble. I know it's hard. Like I've been working with clients for years and they still get uncomfortable being on video. I know it's hard, I know it's a challenge, but trust me, the more time and effort you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, and you're going to see that transition in the long run. Vertical video, I know a lot of you do landscape videos, especially on Facebook. That's fine, but this is where social space is going. This is what algorithms are rewarding. So obviously TikTok is vertical, Instagram Reels, Facebook is really pushing Reels, especially as far as rewarding organic growth. So that's something you should be looking into. LinkedIn. Now, I'm not saying you should post listings on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is also incorporating a vertical video format, and that's because when we look at content, this is how we're doing it, right? We're doing it on our phone vertically, right? So when you're creating content, make sure you're shooting in vertical format. And again, to get comfortable with video, all of you have a cell phone. If you want to get comfortable with it, set your phone up in your car or your house or your desk or wherever you are, and just talk to yourself for 5 minutes. Just talk for 5 minutes about your listing, about whatever. And the more you do that, the more you're going to get comfortable when this is pointed at you or when the big camera is pointed at you. Quick wins you can start now. We're going to go through some of these, but again, I want this to be a discussion because I'm sure you have questions or maybe you want to talk more about specific subjects. So I want this to be open, and I know This is a room full of competitors. I know maybe you're hesitant to ask questions because you don't want your, your neighbor who's with a different brokerage to steal your ideas, but the execution is a really key factor, and your speed of execution in getting this kind of up and running, right? So some of you may do this right away, some of you may not. Some of you, just continue doing what you're normally doing, and that's fine, but if you really want to make an impact, I suggest taking these steps to change these few things. So I talk about save with purpose, not with habit. And when I'm saying building a strategy, so the one really cool thing about what you offer is you could pull so much content out of your listings. So I'm assuming most of you hire a professional photographer and videographer to go in and take photos and do a video. While your photographer is in there taking photos, grab your phone, walk around the property, walk around the listing. If you see something that you want to talk, just grab your phone and say, this is the bedroom in my new listing with an ensuite. Check it out, it has a gas fireplace. Oh my God, wait till I post this. Done. And then you do that a couple times. Now you have a lot of content that you can use to promote the listing, because I'm sure when you're dealing with sellers, they're asking you, what are you doing to promote my property? Right? So you're probably trying to maximize and do as much as you can so that the buyer's happy, but also so that there's attention out there and hopefully you will sell the property fairly quickly, right? So when I talk about building a strategy, it's building yourself a plan, because if you don't do that, you're going to be posting on the fly, and you're going to be posting because you feel you have to instead of because you want to, right? So starting your day out saying, okay, what listings do I have? What information can I share about these listings? How can I share that? What type of content should I share? Some of you with teams or maybe you have assistants, it's going to be easier for you. Some of you that are on your own, it might be more of a challenge, especially if you're busy, but take the time, even take 20 minutes just to figure out what you're going to do and have yourself build a game plan for the week. If time is an issue, and I tell this to everyone that I work with, if time is an issue, link your Instagram page to your Facebook page and use Instagram as your driver. Open Instagram, go right to the camera app, take your video, put in your post, and it'll automatically publish to Facebook at the same time. And then it's just important that you monitor your engagement, and if people are commenting, that you're responding to them. If they're DMing you, that you're responding to them. Use stories.
Just going back to the cross-post thing, you said that Facebook is rewarding stories.
Yeah, all right, Reels.
So is it better off to post separately on each platform, or
No.
is cross-posting fine?
You're okay because it's still connected, right? It's meta, and they want you using the tools that they're providing, right? So I can tell you, I've worked with clients who dedicate their videos and their content to TikTok, and then they'll extract that video from TikTok because of the audio, and they post it to Facebook and Instagram, and they do not like that. Facebook or Meta wants you creating content inside their platforms. It doesn't mean that you can't use a tool like CapCut or some other video editing platform to create it and then posting it in there, but if you're using something else to input audio, they really like it when you're using the audio in their own platforms. So as long as you're using, it's an Instagram, Facebook integration, as long as you're doing that, you should be fine. They're not going to downplay it for you because you're not posting it directly.
Follow up.
Yeah.
Okay, so you post the reel on Instagram. It then cross-posts on Facebook on the wall. Is that what it's
On your
called?
newsfeed, yeah.
On the feed, newsfeed. Does that also go under your reels on Facebook?
Yes.
It does, okay.
Yeah.
So when people go to click on not photos but reels,
Yep.
then that'll show up there.
Yes, yeah. So to Troy's point, just to explain a little further, if you go to your own profile, you'll see all your content. Reels will show up, right? You'll see the video show up in your newsfeed, but there's also a tab for Reels. If people want to watch just your videos, it shows up in both. And if you do this example, you'll notice when you post a Reel on Facebook, it looks much different than if you posted a video. It's cleaner, right? The frame that they put it around. But stories are important too, and stories are a great way for you to showcase the in-between, right? If you're at a coffee meeting with a prospect or a client, you snap that you're at, or you're at lunch at ESCA, snapping and just tagging that you're at ESCA, showing that you're supporting local business, supporting community. Those stories are a great way to have those little pieces of engagement throughout your week. Links and posts, we talk about anytime you're posting a listing and you're putting videos or photos, put your link, please, trust me. you'll see this, if you're measuring your insights and your analytics, you will see a significant increase in the amount of traffic you send into your website if you're doing that. No, not us hooks. Use hooks, right? We talked about that. Did you have a question?
Links and posts. Instagram, you can't really.
Right.
So what's the best way to do that?
Link in bio,
Right.
right? But listen, so Instagram is testing links in descriptions right now. So it's not rolled out yet, but they're testing it. So hopefully, because that's a big bone of contention for me too. But right now it's link and post. So when you do a lot of people use Linktree and put all their listings in there. That's probably a lot of legwork for you. Just make sure if you use your own website or use a brokerage website, on the page that has all your listings, that's the link you want to put in your Instagram bio, right? And you can add multiple links. So that should be your first one. View my listings. So if I'm swiping through and I see photos and you're like link in bio, I tap your bio, I click the first link, it takes me right to your page with all your listings. I can scroll through, I can find the one that I want to see. And then you can have other ones under there too, where it's like, interested in selling, selling, contact me today. You can have little calls to action in there to attract for other things, but the links to your listing, I think, is going to be the big one, and it's probably going to be the number one reason for traffic to your website. Pay-per-click ads. So we didn't really touch on ad campaigns. It is important. So what I'm noticing right now is if you have a business page, you need to incorporate an ad campaign, whether that's boosting your listings through your newsfeed or it's going into Meta Ads Manager and building ad campaigns from your listings. You absolutely should budget that as a marketing expense for every one of your listings. Because again, when you do an organic post, and this is probably good for me to explain because maybe some of you don't realize this, when you do an organic post, it's delivering it to people that already follow your page, right? People that already are interested in your content. It's not going out to other people unless your followers are sharing it, right? And then it goes on their news feeds and their friends see it. Ad campaigns, you set parameters, right? Because you're in real estate, you have to select housing, so it restricts how narrow you can target demographic and interest, but you set the location, right? And so you can tell just Cornwall, SDG, if you want to target Ottawa, Toronto, whatever, and now it's pushing it out to more people, right, outside of your following. So this is a really important piece for what you're doing, especially when you're talking about listings, or if hopefully it's not a dry period for you and business is good, but if for whatever reason business gets slow, you could run ad campaigns, or you should run ad campaigns to target potential buyers and sellers, right?
So we're talking about engagement, and we're talking about genuine content and so on for your page. That's real estate based, right? My question is, if you incorporate non-real estate stuff that is interesting and fun, should you do that on your page or on your profile?
You should, good question. So you should absolutely do that on your page too,
Okay.
right? But this is where you have to identify what's that fine line,
Yeah.
right? What is more personal, what is more like business oriented? But you should, because again, the way that you're going to relate to people is by sharing your interests, by sharing your passions, right?
Okay.
And especially like, all of you should be passionate about real estate. All of you should be passionate when you're talking about any of your listings. Because you imagine you're talking to somebody, if I was up here and I was like, thank you for coming to my social media presentation. Or if you come out and you're like really excited about it, right? You should show that enthusiasm and that passion. But again, when I say be your organic self, who you are in that video should be exactly who you are if I come and meet you in person to see that listing, right? So, but don't be afraid or shy to post other things in between of what you're doing, right? If you're out kayaking in the St. Lawrence River, put up a post. What a beautiful place to live, out kayaking in the St. Lawrence River. But not everything needs to have a call to action when you're doing that,
Yeah.
right? So don't always tell people, contact me today if you're interested in buying or selling. Just you're just showcasing one of your passions or your hobbies and the beautiful place that we live. That's it. I wouldn't be putting listings on LinkedIn unless they're business listings. If you have business units or something that businesses would be interested in, then I would be doing that. It wouldn't hurt. If you're, especially LinkedIn is great, and I'll touch on this for a second because I think it's important. I've used LinkedIn for quite a few businesses who wanted to dial into the business space, and business pages on LinkedIn fail every time. Doesn't matter what content you're posting. If you're a major business, like one of these Fortune 500 companies that's always hiring, you're gonna have tons of engagement. But small, medium businesses don't have any success. You as an individual on LinkedIn will have success. So where I'm leading in with this is, you have your own page on LinkedIn showing that you're a real estate professional. You should be posting content there about the value you're giving, but if you're out supporting the community, that's where you take a photo and put that up. If you're part of a fundraising event, raising money for charity, and they have a photo, that should be posted to LinkedIn, right? Anytime you're out supporting events in the community, that's where you're gonna post that. In between, you're gonna put in real estate stuff as well, but I wouldn't put as much effort into that as I would with Facebook and Instagram right now, because that's our demographic or our area. Facebook is the #1 driver. It's the #1 platform people are on. Now, you know, TikTok is also expanding. If you're, I don't know, how many of you post on TikTok, your listings? I know Troy does. You? A couple of you? I have had quite a few clients go viral on TikTok, and it's never the reason that you would expect it to be. It's always something that you do where it's like you're talking about a product, or you're detailing how to use something or how to do something, and it goes viral. People piggyback on trends, but that doesn't always go well. I don't think it's a bad idea to be on TikTok. I think the more you can be on, the better, especially if there's attention there, and attention is on TikTok right now. And you can target your location, right? So if you put in that formalize your location on TikTok, it will deliver to people in our area. It'll deliver to people all over the place, but it will focus that attention in our area. So if you're doing listing videos and you're doing them in vertical format, which you wouldn't want to put a horizontal video on TikTok because you won't get any engagement on that. But vertical format, I think it'd be beneficial for you.
So we talked about the content. What about the caption, or like what do we write? You know what I mean? Do
Okay.
we have a full paragraph?
Yeah, so good question.
Okay.
So there's contradicting information when it comes to post description. So some people say you should just have a brief description, right? And then push people to the content. But on the other side, social media is becoming a search platform, right? Especially you look at TikTok, people are searching TikTok, you know, chicken and rice recipes, and it's pulling up videos for them. So the last meta session or thing that I had, like webinar thing I was on with them, they talked about keywords. So if you've heard probably about search engine optimization, maybe you haven't, but about making sure you show up in Google ranking when people are searching for realtors. Social media is essentially doing the same thing. So they're looking at the descriptions in your post, but it's also looking at text and images. So if you're putting, and this is where it's up to you at the same time, you can have a short description, you can have an image that has all kinds of information about your listing, and Facebook will not deliver that as much because it doesn't like a lot of text in the images. So I would say try and balance it out. I don't put a whole feed of information in there, because here's the thing, you want people going to your website, right? Yes, you want them engaging with your social media content, but you want to pull them to your website, right? So if you're putting up a listing, I would just do some, you know, you want to put the address, a hook, the address, the price, I'd put the clip notes and then a link, and then have them go to the website for more information. You want to pull as much, and the reason why I say that is because all the information should be there. Should be a lot more photos there. But plus, when we talk about search engine optimization, Google rewards you when you have a lot of traffic coming to your website, right? It sees that you're relevant. So, I mean, again, you have 212 people you're competing with in that space. So it's hard. It's going to be really hard for you. But driving traffic to your website, and this is, how many of you have your own website? Okay, so I recommend you do. I think there's great value in having your own website, or even if you built it as a landing page with your MLS listings there, because you can really funnel people down, and then they're submitting leads to you. When you're sending them to, and I don't want to shit on your brokerages, but when you're sending them to your brokerage pages, there's all other listings there, there's all other realtors there, and that person can get into that funnel and then now they're at some other listing, and then they're calling that agent, or they're calling somebody else. You want the attention. You want them landing on your information. You want to funnel them so that they're reaching out to you, right? So I wouldn't put like don't copy and paste your whole blurb and put it on there. I don't think there's value in that, because honestly, I don't think people are reading that, because I guarantee if any of you have tested this, when you're doing something, you're going to have people, your description, there's information in the post, but people are going to comment on it going, oh, what's the address? What was in the description? It's because they're not reading it, right? They're not reading it all the way down, right? So you have to test that, because listen, all of your followers may be unique in their own way, right? This is what I said when I started that, of all the industries I work with, the foundation is all the same, but the followers, how their followers engage is very different. It's very unique. And I say it because I've been working with some clients who started out by running contests all the time, giving away free stuff just for engagement. And now they have an audience of people who don't care about their service or their product, so they don't engage with any of the organic content. So now we're trying to weed all these people out, so that when we put up content, it doesn't just fall on deaf ears, people who don't care, right? So I can tell you by looking at your insights and looking at how your followers interact with it. So this is why I say your insights really will give you a lot of information on how your audience interacts with you and your content, and it should drive you towards whether you need to remove certain types of content from your strategy or double down on other types of content from your strategy, right? So it's a trial and error thing. Listen, I've been doing this for a long time, and by no means, I do this day in, day out, but I'm always learning. The algorithms are always changing. Platforms are always evolving. So and I don't want to overwhelm you, because I think you all need to have a presence on social media, and I don't want you to hesitate posting something. I think you need to. But at the same time, monitor how your audience is engaging with what you're posting, right? And then determine, how to shift gears. Right? And then look for inspiration. Go on TikTok, go on Instagram, and see what I'm not saying replicate, like I was telling these other people, don't replicate what people are doing, but use it as inspiration, right? Look at it and think of how can you do this in your own way, right? Whether it's messaging, whether it's the way they're taking the photos, or it's the way they're doing a video, use it as inspiration, but try and make it your own with your own personality, and hooks. Hooks are really, really important in video format right now.
Going back to those viral videos, since you brought it up again. So, for anybody who doesn't know, the one he was talking about, the bush thing, that's basically a girl who's going around and she's pointing out and making fun of all the quirky things and all the weird things about the house, right? Okay, so my question is, do you think that she's appealing to people looking to buy the home, or is she looking to appeal to a broader mass, a national mass, to become more like an influencer?
For sure it's an influencer thing. But at the same time, she's getting a lot of attention, and then that attention is translating to sales, quick sales. And this is where I go back to where I said to you, understanding how people come to you, right? How they reach out to you. So for her, I think it's very unique. She's getting that national attention as like an influencer, and I guarantee you that's a big part of it, because she's from the States, I believe, and they get money the more views that they get. But if somebody sees that and they're like, oh my God, this girl's crushing it, it's hilarious, I want to hire her to list my property, it may not be the same as the person who, maybe has for her, like a $3 million property, and it's very executive style, and they want class, right? So this is you know your buyer, or your seller, right? You know the property, you know the house, and what kind of content you can pull from it. And then when you're looking at the listing, like when you get the listing and you're going through it, honestly think about that. Think about the pieces that you could showcase of that property, and you could look at what's like, even I don't know if it's HGTV, but there's like there was a Homes magazine, I think, they're on Instagram, but they take very nice photos of the property, but it's not like a full room. It's like an angle where something's like really beautifully designed. You know what I mean? Like if you have listings like that, I've seen some of you have
like lifestyle shots.
Yeah, lifestyle shots. Yeah, like those things do really well. And the other thing I wanted to mention was photos of you and videos will always outperform. I mean, with the exception of your really nice listings, your other organic content. So, as opposed to putting up an image saying, current real estate market update, average home price is $540,000, do a video. Do a video of yourself saying, what's the market like in Cornwall, Ontario right now? You're probably tired. I think you did something like this, Troy, a while ago, where you called out like the photos. Maybe I'm wrong, but I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, just doing like a sitting at my desk and talking about it and cutting back
So
the photos.
you need to position yourselves as subject matter experts in the area, and you are because you've been in this industry for however long you have been. But you also need to push that to your audience, that you're subject matter experts. And how do you do that? It's not by doing a graphic design and posting it and giving your 2 cents. It's by you talking on a video. There was a video I saw, I wish I would have saved it to show here, but it was a mortgage broker, and she was like at her desk, and she like just grabbed her phone, she's like this, and she just talked about 3 situations that day where she had people that went to a bank, and she's a mortgage broker, and they were denied for whatever reasons, and then she came to them. But she basically shared a story, right? So stories go phenomenal if you have interesting buyer or seller stories. You don't have to name names, but share the story, right? Like I'm sure, I remember, this is a while ago, but going to look at properties, and the realtor took us into the property, and there had dogs in there, and the dogs shit in the living room floor. And I'm like, oh my God, and the realtor was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But that's kind of a funny story, so that you could share that, right? Like, oh my God, can't believe this just happened. Does anyone have this happen? I don't know why I feel so bad for my buyer. We took them to see a listing, and the dogs were probably there for who knows how long, and they, crapped on the floor, and then the house stank, and it was like, immediately it was like, oh, no. I'm out of here, right? I don't want to see the rest of this house. It just throws you off. But that's funny stories. People love that, right? So don't be shy. Get on camera and tell these stories, right? Talk about the market, and not. Again, there's 212 of you, and maybe not all of you are on social media or as aggressive or active on social media, but I guarantee you probably 20% are, right? And that's who you're competing with. So you have to find ways to stand out. You don't have to do it like that girl, joking about the pieces of property or the guy running through the house, but find a way that's comfortable for you, but that's also engaging for your audience.
Okay, videos. So when we do a listing video, we're promoting our products, and we're promoting ourselves as professionals as well, right? So, and just to go off of that, I don't think it's a matter of us being competitors. We are competitors, but it's a matter of us working together to better the industry as a whole, too, right? So it's you don't want to look at it as not giving away secrets of this kind of stuff. But what's the next big thing? What's the next transition for us? What's the secret formula that takes away what everybody's doing now and these listing videos and these walkthroughs? What's coming up? Where do we go from here?
That's a good question.
He's definitely not going to tell a whole room.
I'll say a couple things. One, I'll go back to, you are unique in your own way. Show it. Don't feel like you have to box yourself in. And I'm sure most of you probably feel like that. And not just in real estate. In a lot of different industries, people feel like they have to be a certain way. I feel like those molds are breaking right now. Where people, they back when you had to wear a shirt and tie, and I'd have to come in here with a suit and do a presentation. That a lot of that is changing, and I think it's whether it's because things have changed a lot. Whether it's the younger demographic that's influencing that, it's our demographic that's influencing that, or it's just the social media. It's now okay to have fun. Right? You don't have to be uptight and extremely professional. Again, going back to Kate's point, if you have an executive style home and it's beautiful and it's meticulous, how you present that home is going to be different than a home that maybe you have that has a pool and a pool table and that plastic fake ice with a hockey net and stuff. It's more of a fun house, right? You're going to present that very different, right? And the buyers for those types of homes are going to be different. Right, but I think where are things going? Where are things changing? that's hard to say, because you have to watch the space. You have to pay attention, right, to what's happening out there, what's trending, what's going viral. And again, don't mimic it, don't replicate it. Do it, and use it as inspiration. But I can tell you what's next, what's coming, and it's coming fast. How you would integrate this into real estate is yet to be determined. But it's AI glasses, right? Like it's coming. It's fast. Like there's Ray-Ban Meta, Oakley has a pair.
But they're not even going to go to the house.
Right, and Google, well, this is, who was it? Was it you that was, Matt was saying somebody had Ray-Ban Metas on and they did a live stream and for their wife or their spouse and walked around the property and showed us them. Imagine you doing that. And like Google's coming out with a pair this fall that'll actually have like display in it, so that if you can ask it questions and it'll show like images and stuff. Like it's crazy. But how should you jump on this bandwagon right now? No, I don't see anybody doing it. I don't see any realtor with AI glasses doing a video tour talking about things, right? But I guarantee you, as it comes in hard and fast, somebody's going to find a way to do some pretty cool stuff with it.
Well, that's where I'm kind of going. Like, when does it go back? Everything is overproduced and fabricated and AI generated. When does it start transitioning back to being raw and more authentic, like you're describing? Where does it go? Like somebody just taking a tour through their house with their phone, as opposed to this overproduced and color corrected video.
So here's what I'll tell you this too. And again, don't get me wrong here. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't hire professional videographers, because the videos that you do are beautiful. They do great work, but the audio quality is the number one most important thing. Audio quality. So if you take videos with your phone, go on Amazon and look for Bluetooth microphones. I can send them, Danny, some cheap examples. Audio quality, if you have a really nice video and the audio's crap, nobody's watching it. Even if you have a video with your phone and the audio's crap, nobody's watching it. Audio quality is really important. And I'm telling you right now, because I tested this, where somebody spent, I think it was just like a really high-end, this is a big client, but a really high-end, I think it was like $4,000 for the video that they had created from a videographer. It was beautiful. It was a great video. The videographer did a great job. On social media, it tanked. We did a follow-up video where I used my phone and a microphone, and it did really well. But we took a $4,000 video that was 4 minutes long and took it to, a very cheap video, well, I shouldn't say very cheap, but a more affordable video that was done on an iPhone with a microphone, and that was 30 seconds, and the engagement was 10 times, right? So again, I'm not saying shy away from the videographers. I'm just saying, for you, if you're hiring somebody to do that, make sure they're giving you a vertical format too of the video. You can shoot it in landscape, and they can still edit portions of it in vertical, but have a hook. Have a hook. So your landscape video, if you're not putting that on your listing page, you should be. You should be putting that on YouTube and embedding that in your website for your listing, so people, when they look at photos, they can watch the video too. But vertical video, I'm telling you, if you make that shift and you have good hooks and you're trying to keep people's attention, you're going to notice a significant impact. Any other questions? Okay. I'm anxious to see you all start.